So many people have had people say that, like doctors say that.
Yes, and this is right, a very common thing I've heard with people with EDS. Their pain is dismissed as growing pains when they're children. Hey y'all.
Hi.
Well, this is Izzy, as hopefully you know, because I've recently posted some videos. She has come into town to visit me. We met online. First time meeting in person after being friends for like a whole year. Y'all should know the story, but anyways.
Yeah, you said it in all of them.
Yeah. Izzy also has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. She also has gastroparesis and dysautonomia. They do present differently in us, but we share the diagnosis.
Yeah.
And we wanted to make this video to talk about early signs of our EDS. Wow, that's obnoxious. Sorry, y'all. I'm gonna put that on silent. Early signs of our EDS that were missed from childhood and adolescence and whatnot. So for me personally, from the time I was born, I was in pain. My mom drove herself nuts because I was her first and only baby. She thought she was doing something wrong. She took me to so many doctors because as a child at night, an infant, you know, I can't communicate. I would cry and cry and cry all night. Okay, babies can do that. But then as I grew older and I was able to talk, my mom would, what's wrong? And I'm crying every night. And I'm like rubbing my legs, saying my legs hurt. I'm in pain, it hurts. And so she took me to all these doctors and they just said it was growing pains. My mom didn't believe it, but after you get told that so much.
So many people have had people say that, like doctors say that.
Yes, and this is right, a very common thing I've heard with people with EDS. Their pain is dismissed as growing pains when they're children. And I remember the pain would be so debilitating. I was in a stroller, far too old for my age because it was hard for me to walk, and I would never go to anyone's house because I know at night, like for some reason my pain is worse at night. I would never like to do sleepovers because I knew the pain was coming at night. And my mom just this week told me, she goes, I have no shame in this. I slept with my mom until I was 13. I did not sleep in my room. And my mom said, I think the reason you slept with me is because I'd have to like rub your legs so you could get sleep and so I could help you with the pain.
Dude, I just have to interrupt and say I slept with my mom till I was 17.
I love you so much.
I have my own room. I have my own bed.
If my mom stays a night, I'll sleep with her.
Oh, I love sleeping with my mom.
I love sleeping with my mom.
I love it. My mom is so nice.
Yes, okay.
Just like love my mom.
But yeah, that was like the main thing, is my pain. And I also remember when I was in middle school, I had weird pain in my hip and it would make this weird popping, crackling noise. It didn't sound right. So we went to the doctor and they did x-rays and stuff, but that's not really a good way to diagnose Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. To be honest, I don't think my pediatrician at the time even knew what EDS was. I wasn't diagnosed until I went to Mayo Clinic. I didn't even know what EDS was until I was diagnosed. So what's
like, for talking about the beginning, for me, what I can really truthfully remember is writing was really painful in school. It would hurt my hand, my thumb, and my arm. And my doctor said it was because I had weak muscles. I didn't have weak muscles. So they like gave me this thing to squeeze, which would cause the same symptoms, and then I would just be more tired, and it didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And like, it's still painful. Like it hasn't stopped, you know, like I just have accommodations to type in class because writing, my hand just gets so tired to the point where I just go,
yeah,
and I won't write.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that was an EDS thing because I had the same issue. I remember in high school, I got the accommodation to use my laptop because I couldn't do it.
So there was that. There was a lot of raising hands in classrooms would like really kill me. Like that was the worst. And sometimes I'd like start putting my hand down when I still wanted to speak because like I didn't want to hold it up. And I remember this one occasion, I feel like I definitely talked about this in another video on my channel, but I was raising my hand for so long and they hadn't called on me that I started crying, and because it hurt. And I was like kind of pissed off that they didn't call on me, but really it was because I was in pain, and they like made me have this pain because they weren't calling on me. And so
the nerve of that.
I know, how dare they? And then they were like, what's wrong? And I was like, my finger hurts. And they put a band-aid on my finger. There was nothing wrong with my finger, because for some reason in my mind it wasn't okay for me to be like, my arm and shoulder hurts from holding it up so long. It's like in my mind that was just like not something I could say because I thought it was totally normal and I was being a baby. Like, so why would I complain? Like,
I thought it was normal.
Same.
Pushing myself through like school and activities and what, I thought it was normal to be in that much pain. It's
Yeah.
not.
Well, that's how I felt in ballet too, because everyone's like, ballet's so painful. I'm like, really? Yeah, like, yeah. Yeah, like that used to happen to me. So there was just a lot of pain, a lot of like activities I would do. I was always like, I was always picked last for sports.
Maybe you were just unpopular.
I'm not gonna say that part wasn't true. No, but like.
Did you ever have issues in the heat? Because I remember when I was younger.
Yeah, 100%.
The heat was very hard for me. Not my entire childhood, but I can remember periods where I'm like, is anyone else feeling this way?
I assumed everybody was.
I would get like faint and I would get dizzy and feel nauseous.
Nauseous. Oh my God. I would get like
so
the school nauseous.
Field days and people are eating. I'm like, how are you eating? Oh God, I feel so sick. But I didn't know that it wasn't normal.
So I would like make up excuses and be like, I'm really thirsty. Like, can I just go get water? And I'd say it again, like 5 minutes later, can I go get water? Because I physically couldn't withstand it. This was really talking about at camp when it was so hot and like we played soccer. Like I remember this miserable feeling I'd get. My heart was racing and I was like, duh, your heart's racing, you're working out. Everybody feels this and you're being a baby. Like that's what I thought. So I wouldn't tell anybody that I felt physically ill. I would just need to make up an excuse to get myself out of that. Like, ooh, I think my toe hurts. Can I go to the nurse? Actually, sometimes my toe did hurt. So, you know, it's like, it was good because the nurse would oftentimes see me for my toe.
Like these feelings and the pain, I just thought it was something I had to live with. It wasn't until I started getting answers and diagnosed and seeing knowledgeable physicians where I felt validated, like, this pain isn't normal, but there's a reason for it. And this is what you can do to improve your life. Like that was just, I mean, life-changing for me to know what's going on in your body and then so you can address it and get a better quality of life.
Well, I knew I had hypermobility at a young age. I don't really know how. I started dislocating my knee, so maybe that's when I started learning that word. But I would tell people in high school and middle school that I had joint pain and muscle pain, and I knew it was abnormal by that time. By the time I was probably 11, 12, I knew there was something wrong, but we weren't actively searching that hard until high school. But sometimes I'd be like, I think the reason is just because I have hypermobile joints. So I would tell people that, but I didn't know about EDS until later when I searched it. I found it because I was looking up disorders relating to hypermobility and pain, and I found it probably in high school. And I was like, probably have that, and moved on. Because I thought it was just like, oh, like a common thing, you know, like one out of every 5 people have this. And I was like, yep, that's me. I don't know why I didn't do my research into it because we really thought I had an autoimmune disease, which EDS is not. It's genetic if you don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But yeah, I can relate to a lot of those things. My mom says mainly for her, now that she knows about EDS, the pain, like her motherly instinct told her this type of pain is not normal for your child. And she says, you know, now knowing what I know now, I definitely would have pursued it more and pushed for it. I also was a clumsy child. Like I would trip over my feet and like, I don't know, there has to be a better word for it, but I was clumsy to the extreme.
Well, it's poor proprioception, that's what it is, which is an EDS thing. I don't have that.
My mom recognized that. Let's see. Oh, if I got sick or I got hurt, it would take me a long time to get over it.
Dude,
like,
oh my God. Okay, well, sick. For me, sick. I got colds all the time. In 10th grade, can I explain to you, in one semester, I first of all got the flu, had 104.5 fever, and then about a month later, I got another sickness. We thought it was actually influenza B because the first one was A. It wasn't, thank God, because my fever was like almost 104 again. And then a few weeks later, I got sick again with another high fever. And then about a month later, I got another cold and then another cold. That's all in one semester in 10th grade. Like, that's also why we thought there was something autoimmune going on, because like my immune system sucked.
So yeah, I would get colds and flus and like viruses, whatever, all the time. It was so hard for me to get over them. But I also have CVID, the common variable immunodeficiency. We didn't know about that till later, but that kind of explains that as well. But then also if I got like scraped or a cut, it would take forever to heal. And it's crazy how we can relate to all the stuff that was missed. Now, if you have these problems or know someone with these problems, doesn't mean you automatically have EDS.
Totally not.
We're just sharing our experiences.
Yeah.
Maybe it can be helpful to someone in a similar situation. But yeah, that's basically, it was like the pain, trouble with sickness and in
Always
healing.
having injuries.
Yes, and the clumsiness, which was really like the proprioception issues. So that is our early signs that were overlooked. And again, maybe somebody will find this video helpful, but remember, everyone's different.
Yeah, totally. Like,
Yeah.
your story might be totally different. You might be like, my organ exploded. That's how I found out. And
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
God,
That took such a turn. I'm sorry. I just meant like, you know what I'm saying. Everybody's different. I was
Yes,
just trying to
we
be on the
get
other
it.
side of the spectrum. Like, why did I say that?
And with that, you're gonna say this. With that,
And with that,
we will say goodbye
bye, and thanks for joining us on our adventure.